a new segment, John. Caleb has unveiled this. It's time for a little football IQ where we talk about coaches being. Is it either this?
Yeah, jackass.
We didn't hear that.
You suck. Yeah, jackass.
Or is it just this?
That's crazy.
All right, so
you suck. Yeah, jackass.
That means you're just incredibly dumb. This means
that's crazy.
You're just kind of dumb. So do we want to go ahead and get Mario Cristobal out of the way?
The game is okay because John, you've heard many times I'm sure of your life, and Dave has to, when coaches make a decision that everybody with eyes, like you know, my wife can watch me like, why did they do that? And the coach will be like, well, you just don't have football IQ. And you know, that's and so what you guys have to do for me, I'm gonna play the casual fan here. I need to understand the football IQ of coaches. So y'all have to defend the decision from a football IQ perspective, because I don't have football IQ. I just have basic probabilities and an understanding of it.
Right. You just have basic cognitive ability. All right. So here we go. All right. Do we want to get a Cristobal out of the way? Because that's
let's just get Cristobal out of the way because that's so obvious.
No, that's worse than that. That's
you suck. Yeah, jackass.
What did you think about the handing the ball off, John?
When he could have taken a knee.
When he could have taken a knee.
I don't try and figure out what's going on in coaches' minds on game day. You got to keep in mind that these guys, football is all about preparation. And you get into, but when you get into the game, it's about thinking on your feet. And I think sometimes people go, well, I have no idea why he thought that was a good idea. I flash back to I think it was the Eagles and New York Giants many years ago when the Giants had just to run one play and kill the clock. Joe Pisarcik was the quarterback, take a knee, but they handed the ball off, fumbled it. The Eagles picked it up and ran for a touchdown. I mean, you're like, how hard is it to think about that? You talk, if that's a football IQ decision, then football IQ is a disease, and it needs medication and it needs treatment and therapy.
Talk about preparation.
Football IQ is the girl math. Now, y'all seen girl math on Twitter? That's what football IQ is.
No, that was preparation. Ouch! If we're talking about preparation, because that was bad.
You suck. Yeah, jackass.
Okay,
so y'all can't even use. Y'all can't give me a BS coach reason to try to defend it. It's that bad. You can't make up something. That's the game. Y'all have the football IQ right now.
Here's the only BS excuse I can come up with. My name's Mario Cristobal. I did not think that we would ever have the lead, so I have not practiced the victory formation. That's all.
What's one of the most famous plays in Tennessee football history is a product of Houston Nutt's football IQ.
Yes.
When Clint Sterner, two things amazingly stupid happened on that play. Tennessee has got to give an all-out rush, push the line back, make something happen, force a turnover. So why would you call a play that allows your quarterback to turn his back on that line of scrimmage? There's just no good explanation for that. But the other factor is that Clint Sterner, with a really high football IQ, decided to use the football as a prop before he hit the ground. Oh, I'll brace my fall with the football. Oops, it's gone. So there are just so many examples of this. Some of them aren't as flagrant. The most amazing one to me was many years ago when Jerry Stovall, one of the worst coaches ever to grace an SEC sideline, was running the LSU show. Against Auburn, there was a slight wind, maybe 12 miles an hour. It was significant enough where you would choose to take a side of the field. But LSU's captains went out for the coin toss. They chose to will kick off was their decision.
I've covered a game. I've done play-by-play for a game, and Warren Sapp did that once. Where I've done play-by-play where the guy said, "We'll kick."
I know
you defer. You don't kick.
Okay, I understand that. That's a player doing that. Okay, you expect a little more from the coach. Jimmy Himes was covering that LSU team with me, and Jimmy asked Jerry Stovall afterward. He said, "Well, you have to either choose to kick off or receive.
He still
You
didn't get
can't-
it.
You can't choose to defend a goal." And so the next Monday, Jimmy goes out to the practice field with a rule book
Oh no.
and shows Jerry. He said, well, right here in the rules, it says you have an option of defending the goal. I mean, seriously, 8-year-olds know this.
Yes.
If anybody who's watched a football game knows you can defend the goal, but Jerry did. And then so when Jimmy put the rule book in front of him, Jerry said, "Oh, well, I know that."
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you did.
No, one of the players told the defensive coordinator who was chewing him out on the sidelines. He said, "Why did you say kick off? We wanted to defend the goal." He said, "Coach Stovall told me you need to say we want to kick off."
Ouch.
Oh my gosh.
What else you got, Caleb?
I'll give the Mario Cristobal football IQ defense, which is that the college football playoff takes into account style points, and he needed another first down for style points if he was going to get to the college.
Oh, come on. What else you got, Caleb?
All right, so let's go this one. This is my favorite one of the weekend. I don't know if you guys saw this. Arkansas, at the end of the first half, they're going to get the ball back with the chance to maybe get a last-second field goal. But out of a timeout on a punt, they have 12 men on the field. After a timeout, which gives Ole Miss a first down.
I will say that's not horrible. I will just go with the Tracy Morgan.
That's crazy.
How bad is that, John? But really shouldn't.
That's crazy, but I'll bring up another Tennessee example on that. In the loss to LSU in 2010, when Derek Dooley was heading up the UT Brain Trust, Tennessee had on the game-deciding play not 12 men on the field, but 13 on the field. And somebody over there was counting players and just kind of got lost along the way.
Yeah,
but John, that was a panic move, not out of a timeout, and it's also because they were shocked that Les Miles would be stupid enough to sub so late with the clock running. I think they were dumbfounded by Les Miles' dumbness.
Well, I mean, then that's bad scouting because you know how dumb Les Miles is.
That was not a chess club meeting. What else you got, Caleb?
You know, Caleb just hit on something. This football IQ thing. You want to talk about coaching IQ? Here's the best example of it. Les Miles won a national championship at LSU. Ed Orgeron won a national championship at LSU. So how smart do you have to be to outwit the other guys in football?
Yeah.
Well, the LSU job does have its advantages. A lot of local talent. I don't know that you could do that just at South Carolina.
Well,
I agree.
Maybe not, but I mean, how do you do it even at LSU? Ed Orgeron and Les Miles. I mean, Les Miles didn't watch the clock. He didn't know what down it was. I mean, he was Joe Biden out there.
All right, what else you got, Caleb?
All right, so we got number 4, and you guys, this is my hot take. Jedd Fisch at Arizona. He'd made 2 major blunders. There was a 4th and goal from the 4 in the game, and there was a 21-yard field goal. And he took a timeout because to avoid a delay of game, because he didn't want a 26-yard field goal. He wanted to have that 21-yard field goal, which could prove crucial. He also, I think, which was the one I gave him knocks for, because a lot of these were bad timeout usage, was not going for 2 after scoring a touchdown in overtime and instead sending it to another overtime. When you're a 21-point underdog and you're on the road, you always go for 2 for the win. You never play for another overtime. The probabilities are basic at that point. You're better off trying to go for 2.
Oh,
I agree with that.
I agree with you. I was watching the game and I thought when they scored, you got to go for 2 there, because in the next segment of overtime, you'll be required to go for 2 anyway. Here's your chance to win the game against a more talented team. My gosh, what you've got to lose? As a coach, you're always worried about, losses and how that will affect you. If you lose to Southern Cal in Arizona, is anybody gonna put you on the hot seat for that? No, it was really that wasn't crazy. That was really stupid.
Yeah, I agree with that, which gives it a big
You suck. Jackass.
portions of the program brought to you by Harold Group Security Solutions, leadership experience, specialization, addressing problems through unique mission-specific mitigation techniques. They are highly trained individuals that make your children safer. Working with private schools now, we're trying to extend that to public schools. So go to your school administrator and say, hey, you need to check out Harold Group Security Solutions, haroldgrp.com. Give me another, Caleb.
All right, we got two more. So this one, Washington State, when they were trailing UCLA 25-17, was driving. Cameron Ward scrambled, brought up a 4th and 1. Again, they're driving. They got 2 timeouts. They let the play clock run down from just over 2 minutes to 1:13, and then they use a timeout. After letting the play clock run down 38 seconds, when you know you're short on time. So I don't like burning timeouts to talk about 4th down plays anyway. I think that's really stupid. If you can save those to try to get the ball back, I think why would you? That's already next level dumb. But then it's another layer of dumb when you run the play clock down 38 seconds and use the timeout. So yeah.
I will go ahead and give that a.
You suck. Jackass.
All right, John,
what's your football IQ for that?
Well, but here's the thing, Caleb. How many times have you watched coaches standing there while seconds tick off the clock? You're just, I mean, if you're a fan, you're screaming at the TV, call timeout. And then finally they do after 20 seconds have run off the clock. Why didn't you? I mean, and you talk about a 4th down play. These are things we talk about preparation. You have that. It's just like you have that magical 2-point conversion play that Brian Kelly used last year against Alabama to win for LSU. This magical play. Well, you also have, you go into a game, here's what we're going to do on 4th and 1 against that defense. Yep. But you don't run down the clock and then call timeout.
Perhaps they're trying out the Big Orange Crunch, which, by the way, you can get 10% off. Use the promo code HOOKED. It's got the Delta 9 in it and the THC in it. You shouldn't do it before games necessarily, but the Hemp House, the premier hemp dispensary online with a wide variety, great selection, and strict standards to ensure you only receive the best in CBD and Delta products. Hemp House chat with 2ts.com. Use the promo code HOOKED to get 10% off. How about that? The Big Orange Crunch is there, developed by Off the Hook Sports and the Hemp House. All right, Caleb, last one. Hooked on hemp is what Papa J says. Not yet, but who knows?
It's our always creatively thinking. I lost last year on purpose because it could help me recruit to sell playing time to players. Yes, that's what Jimbo Fisher said last year during a losing streak, that it's a good thing because it'll help them sell playing time on the recruiting trail. Jimbo Fisher had a couple of ones. The punt on 4th and 1 from the 45-yard line at Alabama. 4th and 1 from the 45. The punt went into the end zone and netted a touchback. But don't worry, he was able to push that one aside because he outstupided that one with trailing 26-17. 4th and goal from the 2. He decides to run the play clock down and take a timeout to kick a field goal. And his reasoning was, we already had a kick blocked, and I wanted to make sure it wasn't going to get blocked this time.
Yeah. And Travis on the message board saying anything better than hookers and hemp. So this ties directly into Tennessee this year. Be sure to hit that, or this week, hit that like and subscribe. Jimbo Fisher, scale of 1 to 10, and Josh Heupel on the scale of smart coaches. Currently, where they are, where would you have them?
Is this for me or John?
Let's go, John. John?
Okay, Josh Heupel, probably right now 8 or 9. Jimbo Fisher, probably a 3 or 4. I think his football IQ has declined precipitously since he was given that 10-year, $75 million contract that has since been extended and increased. He just doesn't remind me of the same guy that coached at Florida State. Offensively, I don't know. I just, and that play call, the one that struck me. I mean, I know Caleb trumped that with a later call, but that to me was the game. 4th and 1 on the 45, late in the third quarter. You've got 108,000 people screaming on your behalf. You want to get them into the game, maybe. You just got to go for it there. What kind of message did that send to the team?